Alright, Mr. Paul, we're at 3817 Northeast Brogdon Street here in Hillsboro. Should you need to know this for your sake, clean outs under the deck boards here in front of the front door. That's one spiffy clean line right there. Alright, I'm just going to take it up to the main. The standing water dissipates off just before the main connection, just barely by a foot or two. I'm getting a very clear, consistent 4'4" to 4'5" there. Belly basically dissipates at the main or just shy of it. Unfortunately, not pushing debris out there, but it's close enough to it. And just keep in mind, anyone watching this, part of the reason the standing water is even at the level it is some of that debris in there is displacing the water. Still a little bit of water even back into this point here. Now the very, very beginning of it starts right about here at about 27 feet, 26 feet. Yeah, so I'm picking this. This to me looks more like the belly starts. I see a green dot just into the street edge. However, the standing water actually appears to start just prior to that, from what I can tell based on the locates. It looks like it's about a foot, 2 feet from the retaining wall, or on the house side of the retaining wall. Most of the repair is in the roadway, but it looks like about the first couple feet here is in the front yard. And I'm getting around. It's an awkward spot to locate because of the bushes. They put you so close to the retaining wall, it's hard to stand right on top of things. I'm kind of reaching over the bush a little bit. I'm getting around 5 foot 10 inches at this location here. Now, when it comes to bellies, you got to make sure you get every little piece of it, or often it's hard to correct it fully. Yeah, I even just adjusted my marking back even a little bit. About 6 inches was all, but just to make sure you get all of it. There's even a little tiny bit right here too. I mean, it's one of those where what I'm going to do here, just for the sake of making sure things get done correctly, there's a little bit of a break. There's some standing water in the first little bit of the PVC, then it stops, then it starts right back up again. I'm going to mark the transition joints. I think to be on the safe side, I'd take it back. I'm worried that if you don't take it back to this point, you're not going to get it fully corrected. Now, when you get back to this point here, if it can be done, I mean, honestly, if you get the rest of the belly fully corrected there, and what you have left over with is a 32nd or 16th of an inch of standing water at the start of the belly, mostly for the sake of, if you had to take that back to the transition, I'm lined right up with that tree out in the front yard at that point. You're very near that. I don't know if that's going to cause you to have to cut through the root ball or not, but that's a belly there that, at least in my opinion, is not one I would generally recommend repairs on. Just from the standpoint of there's zero buildup in the first half of the sewer line that would indicate it's ever caused any kind of backup whatsoever. But again, on that note, if you can do it from the X marking just before the retaining wall, on the house side of the retaining wall, that is by and large where the belly begins. It appears there's a very small amount of standing water between that X marking and the transition behind it, about 5-6 feet. If you can basically get that entirely corrected or almost entirely corrected from that point, that's probably what I would suggest doing, honestly. I'd hate to see someone take out a tree they like just to potentially correct a 16th of an inch of water, if it's even that much. It looks more like a 32nd of an inch there.